For the past 8 decades, questions about the existence of extraterrestrial life and visitations of alien beings to our planet in strange flying craft has captured the imagination of the public all over the world. It is widely believed that no one has a more intimate knowledge of the subject or the power to provide definitive answers than the President of the United States of America. This documentary explores the intriguing relationship a few prominent White House occupants have had with the UFO phenomenon over the years. We'll delve into the personal experiences, beliefs, actions, and opinions of U.S. presidents, primarily by studying their pronunciations on the subject both in public and during media interactions.
Did the Joint Chiefs of Staff talk to you or concern you about the unknown and the unidentified flying object?
Oh, yes, we discussed it at every conference that we had with the military, and they never were able to make me a concrete report on.
Do you have anything on the subject, sir?
No, I haven't anything on the subject, and there's always things like that going on, flying saucers, and they've had other things, you know.
President Carter also weighed in on the subject of unidentified flying objects, UFOs. Tuesday's debate, the Ohio Congressman and Democratic presidential contender Dennis Kucinich said he and many other Americans, including the former President Jimmy Carter, have seen UFOs. Today, Jimmy Carter clarified his experience.
When I was back as a peanut farmer and the head of a lounge club in the southwest Georgia, I and about 25 others saw something in the air that changed colors and was round and came and left. We couldn't figure out what it was. It was unidentified as far as we were concerned, but I think it's impossible, in my opinion, some people disagree, to have space people from other planets or other stars to come in this city. I don't think that's possible.
I couldn't help at one point in my discussions privately with General Secretary Gorbachev, when you stop to think that we're all God's children wherever we may live in the world, I couldn't help but say to him, just think how easy his task and mine might be in these meetings that we held if suddenly there was a threat to this world from some other species from another planet outside in the universe. We'd forget all the little local differences that we have between our countries, and we would find out once and for all that we really are all human beings here on this earth together. Well, I don't suppose we can wait for some alien race to come down and threaten us, but I think that between us we can bring about that realization. In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bond. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war. I think maybe I'd answer it this way. I keep, in my frustration sometimes, you know, actually, if you count some of the things going on in smaller countries and all, there have been about 114 wars since World War II. But I've often wondered, what if all of us in the world discovered that we were threatened by a power from outer space, from another planet? Wouldn't we all of a sudden find that we didn't have any differences between us at all? We were all human beings, citizens of the world, and wouldn't we come together to fight that particular threat?
I got a letter from 13-year-old Ryan from Belfast. Now, Ryan, if you're out in the crowd tonight, here's the answer to your question. No. As far as I know, an alien spacecraft did not crash in Roswell, New Mexico in 1947. And Ryan, if the United States Air Force did recover alien bodies, they didn't tell me about it either, and I want to know.
It makes it increasingly less likely that we're alone.
Oh, you're trying to give me a hint that there are aliens.
No, I'm trying to tell you I don't know.
Oh.
But if we were visited someday, I wouldn't be surprised.
We're back with President Bill Clinton, James Patterson. All right, President Clinton, first things first before we move on. UFOs. You've been the president. You've seen all the info. Are they real?
You know, they've given us an idea for our next book.
Well, what do you know? What can you tell us?
The truth is that we've never proved one, but there are things flying around up there that we haven't fully identified yet. And keep in mind, there are basically 1 billion galaxies in an ever-expanding universe. I mean, you can't even get your mind around the sheer number of things that are out there.
But you've seen this.
And
you've seen the data.
Well, no one knows, but I think that the probability is that there's something you would call life somewhere else.
All right, and this
I just made myself a freak, right?
This is book number 3.
Right, so this is this jumping off point
book number
for the
3.
book. Breaking news.
Yeah.
You're a Rhodes Scholar. You know what's up there. What is it? Tell us right now. What is it? Do we need to protect ourselves? Should we be buying duct tape or anything?
No.
We need to protect ourselves from ourselves.
No, yeah.
Just grab your ear for unsafe.
We need to worry about what Jim said. We need to get better at home.
Yes, right. No,
in our earthly home and in our American home.
Mm-hmm.
But first I want to ask you, this is a question that I think is very important to me and very important to the country. When you were in office, and I don't know when this happened or if it happened, did you go through the secret files, the UFO documents? Because if I was president, that'd be the first thing I did.
You know, it's funny. My daughters asked the very same question.
They did?
Yeah.
Would you be allowed to tell your daughters what was in those files?
No.
You would not?
No.
Now that you're out of office, you can do anything you want, right?
True, yeah. But I'm not telling you.
You're not telling You're not telling me what? Are you not telling me that you looked at them?
I'm not telling you nothing.
Are there really great secrets that you know that you can't share with people?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are. And you never write about them.
No.
Maybe at a time in your life that
No.
you're like, oh, I'm 90, I'm going to do it.
No.
No, nothing. Are you at all jealous that you didn't think of the Space Force?
Yes.
You know, last time you were here, we did talk about something that I'm very interested in. And as I've said a number of occasions, the first thing I would do if I was president is go right to the UFO files and find out what's going on. You did not shed any light on that situation. But now there's a video. I wonder if you've seen this video that has been verified by the Pentagon. And it seems to be, this video is either a Dorito or a UFO or possibly a slice of pizza. Nobody knows for sure, but it is an unidentified flying object or something like that. Now, now that this has been verified by the Pentagon, would you be surprised if we were visited by creatures from another planet?
Yeah.
You would be surprised.
Wouldn't you be?
Well, yeah.
Hell yeah.
But I haven't seen anything, and I think it's interesting that you said you'd be surprised because if you've seen evidence, so you're saying there is no evidence. President Clinton told me that if he had seen evidence, he would tell everyone that he'd seen it. Do you feel the same way?
No.
No, you wouldn't. You don't think we can handle it?
No, I'm afraid. I'm afraid it might spin you into orbit.
Okay, all right. All right, I got nothing out of that. So this is something I feel like, if I was the president, and it's unlikely that that is ever going to happen.
You never know.
If I was the president...
It was unlikely that I was going to be president.
The moment I was inaugurated, my hand would just, it'd still be hot from touching the Bible, and I would immediately race to wherever they have the files about Area 51 and the UFOs, and I'd go through everything to find out what happened.
Right.
Did you do that?
That's why you will not be president. Because that's the first thing that you would do.
It's at
the aliens won't let it happen. You reveal all their secrets. They exercise strict control over us.
Now, you know, there are a lot of people that are going to examine your facial expressions here, every twitch, everything, and say, and of course, so did you look? Did you see? Did you explore?
I can't reveal anything.
Oh, really? Because President Clinton said he did go right in, and he did check, and there was nothing.
Well, you know, that's what we're instructed to say.
All right.
What does former President Barack Obama know about UFOs?
When it comes to aliens, there's some things I just can't tell you on air.
He was asked about the UFO frenzy in the wake of that explosive 60-minute story on Navy pilots who've seen things they just can't explain.
It's rotating. Oh my gosh. They're all going against the wind. Look at that thing, dude.
Obama revealed to James Corden he was eager to find out about real close encounters when he became president.
Truth is that when I came into office, I asked, right? I was like, all right, you know, is there the lab somewhere where we're keeping the alien specimens in spaceship? You know, they did a little bit of research, and the answer was no.
But that doesn't mean we're alone in the universe.
There's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are.
And now that UFOs are being taken more seriously, more people are coming forward with their own sightings.
As we mentioned, George also asked President Trump about reports of UFO sightings, and the president for the first time spoke about being briefed on this subject.
You and I, we know we disagree about that, but we have a whole day ahead to go on this. Before we go, one of the things you have as president is the access to all the information in the world, all the mysteries out there. And I was just struck in the last couple of weeks, we're reading more and more reports of Navy pilots seeing lots and lots of UFOs. Have you been briefed on that? What do you make of it?
I have. I think it's probably, I want them to think whatever they think. They do say, I mean, I've seen and I've read and I've heard, and I did have one very brief meeting on it, but people are saying they're seeing UFOs. Do I believe it? Not particularly.
Do you think you'd know if there were evidence of extraterrestrials?
Well, I think our great pilots would know. And some of them really see things that are a little bit different than in the past. So we're going to see. But we'll watch it. You'll be the first to know.
I want to talk to you about aliens.
Yeah.
UFOs, UAPs.
I know.
The disclosure we've seen in Congress recently. It's confusing and upsetting a lot of Americans because there's something happening. There are unidentified aerial phenomena in the sky. We don't know what they are. Do you?
So it's such a question I do get a lot, and it's such an interesting question. I've met with pilots that look just like you, actually. Okay, they have more of a crew cut. Okay, they look like him and they look like you. Some of them look like you,
a little fatter.
But these are perfect people,
okay,
and they're not
crazy,
conspiratorial. They're not crazy, and they tell me stories that they've seen things that you wouldn't believe. So I've met with pilots like beautiful Tom Cruise, but taller. Okay, handsome, perfect people. Sir, there was something there that was round in form and going like 4 times faster than my super jet fighter plane. And I look at these guys and they really mean it.
Yeah.
And am I a believer? No, I can't say I am. But I have met with people that are serious people that say there's some really strange things that they see flying around out there. And if you go to Nevada and you look at that little section of where they go to look at the aliens, where they think all the aliens are landing, that it's I think it's maybe the #1 tourist attraction in the United States.
Roswell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roswell. I think it's the #1. It's the lines of people waiting. You have no idea how many times I'm asked that question.
But don't you have access to that information?
I have access, and I speak to people about it. I've had actually meetings on it, and they will tell you there's something going on. When they say things are going 4 times faster than my beautiful top-of-the-line airplane that goes, real fast.
With no identifiable propulsion
Mach
system.
2,
Yeah.
right?
These things are creating their own gravity fields, allegedly.
Well, they have people that are very smart and very solid have said they believe there is something out there. And, it makes sense that there could be. I've never been convinced, even despite that. I just, for some reason, it's not my thing. But a lot of people believe that it's true. A lot of very good, solid people believe it's true.
For sure.
Is there a chance that one of these orgs is potentially hiding information from you about aliens?
I guess so. It's you have the deep state, and you do have a deep state, and certainly they could. But I don't think on this subject. I was interested in it because I've been asked so many times, and I talked to people that have said that they've, it was a sighting, and it's very believable. It's very possible that there is something, and why wouldn't there be? You take a look at the universe and you see all of the different planets, and you see this. Look, here we are on one relatively small planet. Why wouldn't there be on a planet that's 400 times the size? Why wouldn't there be somebody? So it's certainly believable to me.
The thought of it freaks me out. It's weird to think that we potentially are only the source of life in like an infinite, ever expanding universe.
A lot of people are very interested in footage of UFOs. The Pentagon has released a few videos, and there's been anecdotal reports from fighter pilots. So a lot of people want to know, will you help push the Pentagon to release more footage, which a lot of people claim is available?
Oh, yeah, sure, I'll do that. I would do that. I'd love to do that. I have to do that. But they also are pushing me on Kennedy. And I did release a lot, but I had people come to me and beg me not to do it. But I'll be doing that very early on. But I would do that.
President Obama says that there is footage and records of objects in the skies, these unidentified aerial phenomenon, and he says we don't know exactly what they are. What do you think that it is?
I would ask him again. Thank you. Come on, Walt, let's go.
As many of our forces away from our bases as possible, but we've already sustained heavy losses.
I spoke with the Joint Chiefs when they arrived at NORAD. They agree we must launch a counteroffensive with a full nuclear strike.
Over American soil. You're saying at this point we should sacrifice more innocent American civilians. Is that right?
Sir, if we don't strike soon, there may not be much of an America left to defend.
Sir, they've taken out NORAD. What?
It's gone, sir.
My God. The Vice President. Joint Chiefs.
Mr. President, we must launch. A delay now would be more costly than when you waited to evacuate the cities.
No, you're not going to launch nuclear weapons. You're going to kill them and us at the same time. If we fire nukes, then everybody else who's got it is going to fire. You know what that means? Fallout. You ever hear of nuclear winter? It's the end of life as we know it. Do you hear what they're talking about? Don't even think about it. I don't have to go. It can't be allowed.
Shut up, Captain. Get him out of here. Hey, don't tell him to shut up. You'd all be dead now if it wasn't my David. None of you did anything to prevent this.
There was nothing we could do. We were totally unprepared for this.
Ah! Don't give me unprepared.
Come on, Julius.
It was what, in the 1950s or whatever, you had that spaceship.
Dad, no,
Where
Dad.
was it? Yeah, that thing that you found in New Mexico.
Dad.
Where was it?
Not the spaceship.
Was that Roswell, New Mexico, yeah. No, you had the spaceship, and you had the bodies. They were all locked up in a bunker. Where was that? David.
I don't know.
Area 51, right? Area 51. You knew then, and you did nothing.
Sir, regardless of what you may have read in the tabloids, there have never been any spacecraft recovered by our government. Take my word for it. There's no Area 51. There's no recovered spaceship.
Excuse me, Mr. President. That's not entirely accurate.
What? Which part?
Ladies and gentlemen, the events that I'm about to describe are going to sound incredible to most people, but I know they happened. I saw them happen. They happened to me. One night, not very long ago, my fiancée and I saw a meteor-like object flash through the sky and fall to Earth in the Arizona desert. I was the first one to go into the smoking pit where it landed. The only one to realize that this meteor was a spaceship. I looked into it. I alone knew that the beings it carried, formless, terrifying beings from outer space, planned to conquer the world. And so fiendishly, by entering into the bodies and minds of captured human beings. Wouldn't it be a fine trick if I weren't really John Putnam at all? But something from another world come here to give you a lot of false leads. What do you want? What are you doing? Let me see you as you really are. No, you're not Ellen. You've got Ellen's clothes, but you're not Ellen.
Flying saucers have invaded our planet. Washington, London, Paris, Moscow are key targets. The whole world is under attack. Can it survive?
Survivors of a disintegrated solar system. At this moment, the remainder of our fleet is circling your globe.
What do you want with me?
Arrange for your world leaders to confer with us in the city of Washington.
They set up an electronic screen. The artillery doesn't penetrate.
Never before has the screen reached such heights of excitement. Breathtaking spectacle. Hair-raising terror. See the saucermen's high-frequency disintegrators. See flying saucers travel thousands of miles in seconds. See great cities leveled by flying saucer monsters.
Russ, look.
The same kind of thing that's watched us since the beginning of the project.
People of Earth, attention. People of Earth, attention. This is a voice speaking to you from thousands of miles beyond your planet.
They're coming down to take over. They made that clear to us in the saucer.
To the best of our knowledge, my wife and I are the only ones left alive. You believe there are such things as flying saucers, Colonel? Flying saucers, Captain, are still a rumor. We've had contact. Radio.
This is Eros, a space soldier from a planet of your galaxy.
What plan will you follow now?
Plan 9.
Plan 9 deals with the resurrection of the dead. Have you attempted any of this plan as yet?
Yes, Excellency.
It's too bad it must be handled this way.